Greetings once again and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. So a little while ago I gave you an introduction to learning the right way, and I called it part one. And inside here I talked about the different concepts of measure, and I also stated in that video how important it is to be able to find the right approach from the beginning, because if you don't, you never understand the concepts correctly and you'll always have gaps in your knowledge. So if you listen to the first part, which you should, you'll find out about all of that. Now, before I go into the second part, I'm going to concentrate one more time on some of the concepts that I covered inside the first chapter, just to give you an idea. So, I talked about the differences between the mainstream method, which is equal sharing, okay, or sharing equally, and measuring, which is really not my method, it's the ancient Greek method. So say, for example, again, just to illustrate this topic, you have 2349 divided by 250, okay? Now, if you were approaching a classroom full of young students learning about division and teaching them how to perform the arithmetic operation, when you tell them that division is about sharing equally, about sharing this amount equally amongst these, automatically they get uh, very confused because there are so many ways to do it, okay? I mean, really, there are many ways to do it. You could take off 250, for example, and then try to divide the rest equally amongst 250. Okay, or you could take 1,000 and try to derive the rest to find the rest in the same way. So if you take off, let's say 250, then you've got a little amount left over, and then that little amount must still be divided by the other 250. And so there are many ways of doing it. You could take off one and say, okay, let's divide 2, 3, 4, 8 amongst the 250, and you'll say, okay, they each get a third each plus whatever the result of this is. But this is infinitely confusing. It's a bad, wrong way of teaching. And of course, it doesn't work for everything. So you ask, well, what doesn't it work for? Well, consider that if you had 2349 divided by 1, then 1 gets all of 2349, right? There's no sharing happening there whatsoever. P divided by 1 is P. That's it. There's nothing to share, okay? Now measuring, of course, there's one more thing here that doesn't come across properly. What happens, for example, if you do not have a integer value here? In other words, you have a ratio which is not an integer, something like 3/4. Divide 2349 by 3/4. How are you going to share that amongst these? Can you see how stupid mainstream educators are and how they've never understood these concepts and how they battle and how, more importantly, their students battle? And so if you go to any academic site, you'll see thousands of worthless papers on different approaches on how to teach fractions and arithmetic. There's only one optimal way. That's why it's called an optimal way, by the way. My way is optimal because it's the right way, okay? And it's my way because I got it from people who are smarter than anybody else who ever lived. Any guesses? That's right, the ancient Greeks. So the way you should think of a problem like this, is in terms of measure. You measure this amount using 250, okay? So you basically say 250 plus 250 plus 250 plus 250. That's 500, 1,000. And then let's do this. Let's make it up to 2,000. How's that? So all this here now is 2,000, right? So how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times. So 250 measures that 8 times, and it measures it 9 times because it also comes off 349. So another 250, and that's the total becomes 2250. We take 250 away from this guy here, 349, okay, and we're left with 99, right? So the answer would be 9 and remainder 99, okay? Now, if I've done my arithmetic correctly, what this means is that if we say 2349 divided by 250, that should give us 9 comma something, and it does. It gives us 9,396. This 0.396 is just simply 99 divided by 250. Okay, it's exactly 3 tenths plus 9 hundredths plus 6 thousandths. Okay, so the idea about measure is that it works for every particular number. Okay, and of course you can't think of 0 as a number because it's not. So you don't have to worry about 0 because all these operations work with all of the numbers. Now, in the subsequent chapters, I'll explain to you what the arithmetic operations are. But in the meantime, I would like you to read this world-class ebook to study it. And I'm giving it to you free, by the way. If you want to support me, you can buy a copy on Amazon, which doesn't have this watermark. It's only $9.99 on Kindle. I don't have a hard copy, but it's available for almost nothing on Kindle. So you can buy this book and go through the chapters even before I go through them. And that way you'll understand how to get the right idea. And we'll continue to do this process until you understand the most important measure of arithmetic, which is division. Okay. And division comes from subtraction and addition. And addition comes from subtraction. And multiplication, believe it or not, comes from division, not the other way around. I mean, your mainstream educators have always done things ass and first for some unknown reason. Well, they're asses. That's probably why. Anyway, if you want to become a subscriber, you can go to my channel, click like, subscribe, and also become a members only subscriber. For $4.99 a month, you have access to a lot of other material which I do not usually share with the public. Now, the stuff that you're learning from me right now was shared with the members only a long time ago, so they've got an advantage on you. They already know a lot of these things. You can also go to the New Calculus Discord and try to join, where you need to pass a 10-question multiple choice test. If you're able to pass it, you get access to the other channels where we discuss a lot of brilliant knowledge, not known before, not possible in the mainstream because mainstream educators are morons. But that's pretty much it. I'm John Gabriel, and this is New Calculus Channel. Till next time, goodbye.